Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Let's Play of AER Memories of Old, with your host and Ballad. Where we last left off, we had gone into the altar of Leafla, and obtained a key after freeing Leafla herself. Apparently, the stag spirit. And we were also visited once again by the fox with yet no name. The same fox who called us bird that flies faster than Medvin. I love that name. It's hilarious. And what is this? We also talked a little bit about the development of this game, and for some reason I can't land properly, but I can slow down now. Yay! Thanks again, I am not. Really appreciate that. Hey, how's it going? Oh, that's so cute. What do we got going on here? The old gods are dead. This power belongs to the God King Koroku now. Oh, shoot. Was there... Oh my goodness. So there was like... Oh, I don't like this. I'm starting to think that the God King is the very same as the man who proclaimed himself to be a god. And he took the power of the old ones for himself. What that power is and how it shows up, I'm not entirely sure. It may very well have been the same as this item of great power that we're trying to assemble, or it may have been these various shrines around here. But I'm guessing. What I'm also not sure of is if this happened before or after the Great Divide. But I'm just remembering what the Twilight Guardian talked about. The time when people no longer worshiped the gods, that the gods were forgotten. Did that really happen before the Great Divide, or did it happen after? Because I've seen bits and pieces of evidence that talk about it happening after the fact. I can't recall off the top of my head what those points are, but I initially thought this all happened because of development or some other thing, where greed could very well have gotten beyond the hearts of men, but I'm starting to wonder if that has to do with the God King instead, and his followers seeking power that the gods wielded up to that point unquestioningly. And if that's the case, that puts a whole different spin on this. Slow down here. Was this the same island with the crane and the stag? No. No, this was Onn. I'm not sure what Onn is exactly. I guess we're going to find that out at some point. Okay, so the fox and Hoozums both told us to head east. Actually, I kind of want to see something. I wonder what happens when we go out of bounds. Because there's nothing out here. This is just pink void as far as the eye can see. Okay, maybe more violet, but still. So where are we? What? I got teleported? And now I'm in the Ruins of Onn? Every single time I've started the game, unless it's in a temple or something, we always end up at one of these bird shrines. I've noticed. Does that maybe have to do with the fact that we are a bird priestess? This has the same music as Leafla's Grove. That's interesting. Whoa! Okay, now that's pretty cool. Whoops, slow it down, slow it down. Huh. Now what is going on here? There's a lot of memories going on here. Oh, people are looking like they got flung. Did something crash through here? Whoops. It almost looks like something crashed through here. Yeah, there's this one central point of impact. Huh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. Whoa. So I think this is going to take us back to Leafless Grove. Yeah. So let's just explore these islands a little bit. I did a little bit more digging. I didn't find a whole lot more about AER Memories of Old, aside from what I've already stated before in this Let's Play. But I did find out that Forgotten Key was working on a couple more games. Wings of Stone, what? Oh, it's a statue of the crane. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, okay. I just got an achievement, if you're wondering why I randomly said that. I don't have my recording software to capture Steam pop-ups, so just fair warning. But Forgotten Key worked on, had two other games in development. One that was based on Scandinavian lore, and another one that was supposed to play similar to AER, to this game, but would have a completely different story, and aside from the base mechanics, wouldn't be any similar. It would be I don't know what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't be the same game. It wouldn't be a sequel in any way, shape, or form, or a side quill, or however the hell that's said. It would be its own game. Unfortunately, those games I don't think will ever see the light of day, but they did release playable demos of them on itch.io. The games themselves are called... One of them is called Down the Well. That's the one with Scandinavian folklore. And then there's Vind, which is the one that's mechanically similar to AER. So definitely can check those out and see what they were working on and what we unfortunately missed out on as a gaming community. Because this game is amazing. I can only imagine what those games would have looked like if they had actually been finished before Forgotten Key closed their doors. Honestly, might have saved them, but not this timeline, unfortunately. I don't remember this place being here. Are the lands drifting in the wind? We need to hurry if we want to reach someplace safe. Huh. That would make sense that the islands are drifting. I just didn't think about that. Oh look, it's another fox. That totally makes sense. The islands would be drifting if they're floating up in the air like this. We still have prevailing winds and all that stuff. It just would be different from how it is right now. Oh, that's so weird to think about how the islands would be drifting. It's one of those things, it's almost like, the talks about how the land masses have changed over the millennia, the eons. How it's theorized that all the different continents that we have on Earth today were once this big Pangea. It's just this one solid landmass. And over the thousands and thousands of years, the millions of years even, the one landmass that was originally Pangea slowly split apart as the tectonic plates shifted into the continents that we have today. North and South, we have the Americas. North and South, we have Eurasia and Africa. And then the poor little Australia just left out on its own. And a new one forming around the Ring of Fire in the Pacific Ocean with the Hawaiian Islands and the Philippines. Just all these fascinating things that a single individual human never gets to see in their lifetime, but has to be tracked over millennia. What is even the term for millions of years? Because it's theorized that Earth has been around for like 4.6 billion or something like that, and life has been around for 1 billion or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the numbers are, but either way, inconceivable numbers. And humans live for maybe a century? Maybe? Life expectancy has actually gone down in the past couple decades, which is a scary thought considering. Even though they're working on miracle anti-aging drugs and stuff, but we'll see how much of that actually comes out and how much of it is effective and doesn't have egregious side effects. But like, humans have been around, theorized, for about 200,000 years, approximately. You know, give or take your sources, because there are some conspiracies out there. Humans have been around for millions of years. Maybe, maybe not, you know? Archaeology is very incomplete. But regardless of how long any of those estimates are, the fact that the Earth has been around for 4.6 billion, we are just a speck on the lifetime of the Earth. Seriously. And I got off on another tangent again. All to talk about how imperceptible the island shifts might be in this game. At least for us right now. But anyway, let's read something. The clans of the South are proud people. Even now, before the threat of the so-called God King Koroku, they will not bow. So is it Koroku or Koroku? Because at the one memory, it was spelled K-O-R-U-K-U. K-O-R-U-K-U. But in both this and I think it was another scripture, it was two O's and one U. But I imagine it's the same person. Before the cities of Urza and Onn were built, many of their shifters chose the deer as their spirit animal, the protector. But slowly, their spirits succumbed to sadness, and they blamed the gods for the darkness in the world. The darkness, invited into their hearts, spread further. If this is true, then so is the opposite, existence of light, and there is hope. I am Kashar of the Eastern Islands, and the first shifter in 10 generations. My spirit animal chose me, and I will fight. I will travel north to the monastery to join the other priests. So we're getting even more of these very unique people that have ended up in this weird conundrum of trying to save, not necessarily save the old times, but keep the people from the world from sending themselves deep into ruin. And the fact that Khazar says that he's the first shifter in 10 generations. And he too speaks of this God King Koroku, whatever. It's just strange. And once again, I'm reminded of what's happening today. You know, we have people, scientists, New Agers, both people in and outside of the New Age cult, that are rediscovering what native indigenous people have been preaching, not necessarily preaching, but have been sharing with people for thousands of years, and what these indigenous people have been practicing for thousands and thousands of years. And originally, scientists and science and all this other stuff were saying, nah, it's not true, it's impossible. But then here we are, modern science today is confirming a lot of these remedies, a lot of these old practices, a lot of these viewpoints to be true. The fact that everything is united by one common thread in the form of just the energy of the universe, essentially. And the fact that something is affected, or two seemingly separate things can be in the same state, and one being affected by something affects the other in the form of quantum entanglement. It's just absolutely fascinating. Anyway, now we're here in, I guess it's the city of Onn? The God King demands changes. This God King Koroku has to be the same person that was a self-proclaimed god. By royal decree of God King Koroku, King of Kings and God of Gods, all must bow to him, the only God. His and his alone are all the lands of the East and the land of the gods. Bend the knee and be spared. Resist and see the last of your days. Such is the will of the God King Koroku now and forever, written in the 10th year of the Harem, in his great city of Onn. This is seeming very, very reminiscent of what we've had a lot of gods practice, not gods, but people practice in the past couple millennia, where it's my way or the highway, these very dominating power structures. I, for one, am glad that the God King is here to protect us against those southern brutes. You know, who's the brute when the God King is saying, either you serve me or you will die? What's not brutish about that? Like here, even here, this is just... Now, I apologize for my politics and historical rants, but... Actually, I don't apologize for it. Why would I be apologizing for something that I, for lack of a better word, believe in? You know, I have to criticize the wanton destruction of things that are actually beneficial to us, all on the word of one person. But we end up with stuff like this. Man turned against man, man turned against nature, and instead of trying to live with, it instead aims to conquer it. This whole power over that really doesn't serve anyone except for a few. I was not expecting this episode to be so... so... I want to say preachy, but at the same time... I don't know. It's something I feel very strongly about, and I can't help but notice the parallels occurring in this game as well. Whoa, slow down. What is going on here? more of these tablets. To Gorian of the Storm Islands from his son Tezao. Father, it's with sorrow that I must tell you of the loss of the Snow Crane Library. The palace guard of the city of Onn came in the night, carrying weapons and shouting the name of their king Koroku. Oh dear. And then all this wonderful knowledge being lost. They destroyed and burned houses and scrolls alike, and would have burned us too had we not been able to escape. We watched from a safe distance, keeping close the few precious scrolls we had saved. We will journey to the monastery in the northwest to place the scrolls in its safety. I trust that it's too far away for Koroku's wrath, and too poor to excite his greed. The spirit crane will lead us until the snow line, and then return home south with my letter to you. I hope he finds you well. So it seems like this ruined city of Onn has been converted more or less into a museum, in a sense. All this senseless wanton destruction. Mayor, open the door. Are you just going to let these soldiers overrun your city? Stop cowering and come out. Interesting. So the mayor of this didn't do anything either. All it takes for bad to happen is for good people to do nothing. Oh dear. It's really sad to see everything that's been happening here. This is reminding me a little bit of what happened to a lot of places in Rome after Catholicism started to spread, and their religious tolerance pretty much vaporized. Whoa, what the? This almost looks like a statue of a bird. Wow. Place of great turmoil. Whoa! Ugh, that was weird. I turned around there a little bit. I guess there's no way into that tower. That would explain the slightly mournful undertone that this game has, or specifically this area. Not quite as upbeat as the settlement is. So from here, now, what was that talk about the archives that Dana was sharing with us then? I'm a little confused. Because I don't think this is the archive. I guess we just head north here? Whoop, hold on. Oh, it's so nice to be able to slow down. So nice. Sir, our scouts report that several deposits of air have been found under the temple grounds north of here. Huh. Deposits of air? So what is this air then? You know, I thought this air, because the game is titled Air Memories of Old, but what is air? Is it just air, or is it Is it air like AIR, or is it something else entirely? So these are the Eastern Steppes, huh? Was this where the archives were that Dana talked about, or was this somewhere else? Oh, another fox taken by the Dark Rock. This place has very different music, too. We got hairs again, yay! The music for this place is very different, too. Whoa! Kind of wondering if there's any tablets hidden around here, but so far I'm not seeing anything. Oh, this looks like one of those towers that we saw in the ruined city of Onn. Interesting. Okay, that's not where I wanted to go. There was another place where I saw some of the memories. Where was it? Oh wow, when you get used to the banking, you can actually turn pretty quickly. Like, look at that. Whoops, wrong button. You can do almost a 180 on a dime, feels like. Shoo. Cool. Alright. You know what? Extra props for the flying controls. This is really good. Alright, I thought this game had a few more flaws, but apparently I was completely wrong. About some of the flaws, anyway. And those flaws are few and far between to begin with. What is going on here? Is this the archives? Huh. Interesting. Well, let's take a look through here and see if we can find a tablet. Ouch. Doesn't look like it. I'm not seeing one at all. There's a memory over here. So there's the ruined city of Onn, and then there was a different one? Written in stone. Oh. Oh! Guard has told me that the mountains to the north were falling apart. You shouldn't believe such rumors, Dahlias. Oh, wow. So this is a map of the old cities. And then the people in the south. Interesting. So this all seems to have happened after the Great Divide. So the God King Koroku rose to power after the Great Divide happened, it seems like, because otherwise the map wouldn't be written like that, would it? At a time when people need to unite the most, they decide to spearhead their own agendas even more. Very disappointing. This game remains true to form. But anyway, we are just about out of time for this episode. I don't apologize for sharing my politics, but I do apologize for getting a bit preachy in this one. I will attempt to refrain from doing so in the future, but no promises. But if you made it this far, I do still appreciate you guys joining me on this journey. through AER Memories of Old, and next time we will continue on and see what all is going on the main island here. That seems to be the focus of it all. So until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye for now.